I am so happy to see everyone here. It's a packed house. Thank you for joining us. Tonight is about believing and making the impossible possible. I would like to ask the lady of the hour to just come and stand where we can see you. We want to give you a warm welcome for tonight. Good evening again. My name is Arjuman Khan. I'm a media consultant and a two-time Emmy Award-winning a broadcast journalist. I'm a mother of 4. I'm a Niles North alum, so I'd like to give a shout out to the Niles North administration teachers here. Thank you for being here tonight. I'm also born and raised in the Muslim community, center of Chicago, a graduate of the MCC Sunday School, and I am so proud to be here honoring our very own Bushra Amiwala. Bushra, we are so proud of you. My daughters are here this evening, and as a mother, I could not ask for a better role model. I mean, really, what a dynamic role model. Bushra has graduated Niles North with success. She is just dynamite, on fire, making headlines, and we are so proud of her tonight. DePaul, she holds strong to her faith, and she's taking on the incumbent for the 13th district seat on the Cook County Board. Tonight is about coming together as a community. It's about helping Bushra, being a catalyst, and making change. Let's get started tonight to give her our support. I'd like to introduce Muhammad Amiwala, Bushra's younger brother, a Niles North senior.
All right, hello, and on behalf of the entire Amiwala family, I'd like to thank you all so much for coming out today and supporting Bushra. It means a lot to me, and it means so much to my family as well. And me and Bushra's relationship, let me fill you in a bit. Although I'm known as Bushra's younger brother, I'm only 2 years younger than her, and our small age difference has made us become super close. And as a person, and I've seen the privilege of her grow and work towards her dreams every single day. And even though she has such a busy schedule, she finds time to do everything in her day. And sometimes I get a headache just by looking at it, so I have no idea how she balances everything in her day. For example, college applications were due recently. I'm a senior, so I had college applications due. And me not being the diligent Amiwala, unlike Bushra, I waited until the last minute to turn them. And I begged Bushra to help me with them, and even though she was probably doing 30 other things at the time, she was still able to help me with my college. This may not be the most impactful example. This is probably one of the hundreds of times when Bushra stood as a role model for me. And honestly, the first time she told me she was running for Cook County Board, I was a bit skeptical at first because I didn't even know if she would stand a chance against the incumbent. But now seeing the amount of work, the amount of support she's been gaining because of this, it just inspires me, and the amount of people she's been able to cultivate on this journey with her. Finally, if you were to ask me the woman who has had the most impact on my life besides my mother, it would be my hardworking and loving and caring sister, Bushra Amiwala.
Thank you so much. Next, I'd like to ask Ramesa Amiwala, Bushra's younger sister, who's a freshman at Niles North, to come up.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Ramesa Amiwala, and I'm a freshman at Niles North. I wanted to briefly talk about Bushra, my older sister, and how all her achievements inspire and motivate me to do well in and outside of school. I have always been known as Bushra's younger sister. For instance, in 8th grade, I'd have teachers stop me to talk about Bushra and all her achievements, even though she graduated many years ago. Or at freshman orientation, when they showed us a video about the importance of getting involved, and I was so excited to see my sister on the screen over and over again. I realized how big of an experience at school, even though she had graduated by the time I began. I feel blessed to have Bushra as someone who I can look up to and someone who I can rely on, regardless of the situation. Bushra is one of my greatest support systems and motivates me to be the best version of myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ramesa. Next, I'd like to call Niles North Junior Hadra Khan, who's
Assalamualaikum, good evening, Hadra, and I'm a junior at Niles North. I wanted to talk briefly about how Bushra has inspired me as a young hijabi woman. Being a young debater and political activist, Bushra is up to. She had graduated by the time I joined the debate team, but her legacy was still there. In the debate program, we still talk about how she was Harvard University's national debate champion, and in my AP Government and Politics class, we will talk about her passion to marry community service and politics. Her heart, compassion, and character is what makes her a legend at Niles North, and someone I strive to resemble. Passionate, inspiring candidates like Bushra make me, along with other youth, excited to vote in the primaries and exercise our political rights. I stand with Bushra as a strong political activist that I can see myself in, and respect for the example she has set as Niles North. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to call up Jack Evans, Bushra's volunteer, friend, and sophomore at DePaul University.
I want to first thank all of you for coming, inspiring as a young person to watch and support a fellow peer succeed in a task many of us find impossible, a task that many people discourage us to pursue simply because of our age. To witness the support that is in this room and see the passion in communities across Chicago that want not just change, but a real step forward is incredible. When I first moved to Chicago and started at DePaul, I was your typical college student who wanted to change the world. Then life happened. What I think is amazing about Bushra is she didn't just let life happen, she made it happen. Bushra was involved with everything, she knew everyone, and she was probably the smartest student in our class. I initially met Bushra due to her involvement in DePaul DECA. Through this organization, I immediately became inspired by her passion, motivation, and perseverance. Bushra isn't just satisfied with being the best, she wanted everyone around her to do better in the organization. While just her performance, dedication, and attitude in this collegiate organization was enough to convince me Bushra was going on to do great things, she amazed me even more months later when she launched her campaign for Cook County Board. Over these past few months, her campaign has empowered young people, women, and people of color, not just people in our community, but across the country. I stand here today as a peer, a competitor, a supporter, but most importantly, a friend, who's inspired daily by Bushra's insane ability to lead and enact the future we all so desperately want. Thank you.
Next, I'd like to introduce Gracie Fleming, Bushra's campaign manager and a junior at DePaul University.
Hello, good evening everyone. Like she said, my name is Gracie Fleming. Okay, hope this works now. I am honored enough to be Bushra's peer, friend, and campaign manager. Initially at DePaul. Way before Bushra's candidacy, she was a name in our community that everyone just happened to know. Bushra Amiwala, a freshman involved in the Community Service Scholars Program, dedicating a large chunk of her college career to simply working for the human dignity of others. Bushra Amiwala, a student involved in multiple organizations working to fulfill her full potential. Name. Bushra Amiwala, a mover and a shaker, a young person making such an impact on a large community in such a small amount of time. I knew this was a name I had to meet. I knew this was a name the world wouldn't forget. I was humbled when Bushra asked me to be her campaign manager. Bushra looked me in the eyes and said, "You're the type of person I want in the forefront. I want women, young, empowered women, to be a part of this campaign." But I have to disagree with Bushra here. This isn't a campaign. This is a movement. I run DePaul's chapter of a public policy organization, the Roosevelt Institute. Who writes the rules matters. Bushra is not only our slogan, but our mission in action. Bushra's commitment to her community, this district, is shown through her level of dedication she has to truly making this a grassroots, people-based movement. So far, we've organized people every weekend to brace the weather and have conversations with people in the 13th district. We gather signatures and have a number of our own stories to tell about why we believe in Bushra, and that the 13th district is ready for the type of change she is offering. We stand by Bushra because of her commitment to empowering young women to hold leadership positions. Her belief that a campaign is more successful run by people than corporate donators and influencers. And her character and courage to take fight for the change and transparency she believes in, no matter what barriers stand in her way. Bushra inspires all of us for different ways and for a number of reasons. But together, we know that Cook County is ready for change and Cook County is ready for Bushra. And together, we must work for the success of this movement in action. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Next, I'd like to introduce two very important people, Bushra's parents, Saima and Shabir Amiwala. Please come up.
Hello, my name is Bushra Amiwala. I am Bushra's mother. First, I would like to for coming and making that night so memorable. I would like to share a story about Bushra when she was only 5 years old. We went to buy grocery one day and I remember she asked me to push her cart closer to the shelf. For there, she picked up a box of oatmeal and said, "Mom, can you push my cart over?" "Bushra, you don't even like oatmeals. Why do you want it?" And she said, "Push my cart over there." I saw an elderly woman was standing at the end of the aisle, and Bushra gave that box of oatmeal to her. The woman was very happy, and I realized why she wanted that oatmeal. After that, she told me I really wanted to help her. This is just one story out of the many times that Bushra has wanted to help people, and now today she is her community as a member of Cook County Board, and I am very proud of her. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. This is Muhammad Amiwala. Thank you for so much for coming, everybody. Really appreciate Bushra. I'm very proud of her, and she's doing a very, very great job. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Uncle. Now, the moment we all have been waiting for. Can we please make some noise as we welcome Bushra, the first Muslim woman to hold a seat at the Cook County Board for the 13th District. Let's make this happen for Bushra.
Thank you all so much for coming out today. It's really incredible. I mean, when I first told the owner of Maryland's that I wanted to host a fundraising dinner here, I told him, I'm expecting about 50 people. What's your capacity? You know, just out of curiosity. And he's like, 120. I was like, okay, sounds good. That shouldn't be a problem. 2 weeks later, I call him. I'm like, hey, so can you accommodate? That's how many tickets I've sold. And that truly is incredible because this started off as a Facebook page that I made one day after I filed my paperwork. And I had no idea where to start. All my friends were away for college. I had no idea who would make up something like this before. Like thinking of being a candidate, I mean, as if it's surreal for you, it was seriously surreal for me. I had no idea that I was going to end up here. So candidacy, the first thing that people would ask me, even before my name, my platform, what position I'm running for, the first thing that came up was how much money are you going to raise? And I was so confused. I was like, what am I raising this money for? I don't get it. Like, what do you mean? Turns out that money is what legitimizes your candidacy in the United States. Your opponent, your challengers, your voters, all of them have access to how much, they can see how much money you have. That is what influences their decision when they're casting a vote. That is the person who will win because more money means more resources and more support. So, as someone who's grown up from a very humble background, and I've never been told to ask anyone for money, regardless of they were finding out that asking others for donations would be such a significant role in running for office. I was truly scared and very uncomfortable. That would really be done. But then I took a step back and tried to run this campaign as long as I could with my own finances, having volunteers, everyone on my campaign working pro bono, and I realized that it's not possible. It's really not. You can try, but I tried, you can't. It's not. So, and then I thought the answer to all of my prayers were here. Keyword I thought. The Action Committee reached out to me and told me that they really liked my message of wanting to defend the working middle class, of being, having this level of social awareness and really bringing a fresh perspective. So I met with them at a very fancy white tablecloth restaurant. I heard what they had to say, and in return they said, hey, we want to donate $54,500 to your campaign. What do you say? I said, what's the catch? I actually literally said that. There's no other way to phrase that. I asked them, so what's the catch? Like, nope, no catch. All the money comes from small businesses in Cook County. How great is that? I was like, that's amazing. It was not amazing. I went home and I looked up to see where this money was actually coming from. Because if it was from small businesses in Cook County, well, I thought I would hit up the small businesses and see what they could do for me. Turns out, Coca-Cola, Dr. Pepper, Snapple, another PepsiCo, 5 large soda companies is where the money came from. I was devastated. I I was in a double bind because I personally disagreed with the sugar tax as well, because I don't think regressive flat taxes are the answer and solution to help balance the county budget. But at the same time, large corporations getting involved in politics for their own personal economic gain and to basically buy out elections. So what did I do? I just kindly said no. And you know, so this was more than double the amount of money I needed to win the race. And I would be no different from any other politician in Cook County, in the United States, had I accepted that money. The incumbent that I'm challenging expected a donation from Mike Bloomberg, again for tax. So how can I stand up against him and say I'm different if I did the same thing? So things were looking really good, but so that brings me to where I am today. I decided to host a fundraising dinner. Again, I wasn't expecting this many people, so I'm very excited that all of you are here. And now things are starting to look really good again. Because with money, I can pay people to go door to door and provide them compensation for the amount of time and effort that they put in. And really, I'm seeing a movement of some sort. At the forefront of my campaign, as Gracie mentioned, are young, powerful people, not just women, but men as well. People of all colors, races, genders, and backgrounds, and that's what it's about. It's real people contributing to a campaign by the people, acted on for the people. And that's what really brings me here today. So again, just thank you all so much for your support. I guess I do want to give a couple of shout outs, but I ended up listing the whole guest list because you all deserve a shout out. But very briefly, again, shout out to my parents for being very supportive. It's not easy to have your child say they want to run for office. Especially during a time where there weren't that many people, young people doing this and stepping up. So thank you for allowing me to do this. Thank you for offering me all the support, take the car, paying for gas and all of that. Just I can't even begin to list. And also, thank you for so many of the community members that have showed countless support on social media. We have Khadija Auntie and Ansanko for helping me get this sound system. We have the owner of Maryland's. We have Yoshina, who's connecting me to people. We have Pastor Jess in the back, who's helped amplify my voice on social media. Zach Evans, and we have Sean, and we have Connor, we have Allie Nadir, and all these students from DePaul all working together to really help make this campaign a success. And I'm also shout out to all my UIC friends and U of I graduates back there. Thank you all so much for your support. Dinner will be served soon. Thank you all. No, seriously, change starts here, not just in Cook County, but in the United States. Thank you all.